Baby, 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 hola. Hello, hello. Today is a Projector's Day. It's human design, so I'm doing the talk in pajamas. Hola. Time for shining. I'm gonna talk with Kyla. I don't know if you can see my cacao cositas. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo se pronuncia tu nombre? Namchik. Namchik Tao. Hello, hi. Oh, another name that I don't know how to pronounce it. Hilde? Hild? Because it's German, right? I'm gonna let Kyla know that we are here. It's 11. Thursday, so I'm doing the talk in pajamas. And I have my cacao here. And Hilde. Nam, real name Nigel, hi. Hola, amor. Bueno, a ver. Hola. Woo. No, no. Es para Kyla, pero creo que te mandé. No, just like, tú salte de ahí porque, ay, perdón. Fue sin querer que te invité. Ahí va. Gracias, mi amor. Thank you. Pim, 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 pim. A ver, Kyla, I already added you or no? Again, aceptar.
There we go. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Really good. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm just doing a little bit of damage control because my curious kitty is just up here trying to eat my flowers. So.
Oh my
all good.
God. Is a she or a he?
It's
Hola.
she. Her name is Creatura. Creature.
Criatura.
See.
Beautiful. I have a she too, and she also loves to interrupt me and show herself here while I'm doing video calls and everything. So she will probably show up in a moment.
Aw.
Hello. I started my chat saying that today is a projector day, so I was like, I'm doing my talk in pajamas, literally. I was like, yeah, I'm doing my thing today.
I love it.
So excited. I'm really happy to have you here. Gracias for coming. I'm excited for talking about this and really share about human design, about your vision. How do you feel to transmit it? How do you feel? How was your journey through human design? Because I imagine that it's something that changed your life for sure. So yeah, let's I don't know if you have your cacao with you today or if you're having some other liquids with you that you want to share with us. Can you hear me? I think you froze. I lost you. A ver, again. A ver ahí.
Okay.
Ahí está.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're good.
Here we go.
Okay.
I was saying that I don't know if you have some liquids with you or some cacao
I do.
or whatever. Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well,
I've already started drinking it a little bit.
Amazing. Yeah. Whenever you want.
Thank you.
yeah, exactly because of this. Today in the morning, I felt to do a smoothie. I did a smoothie with some cacao inside. And because I'm so sensitive with cacao and in general, but especially with cacao now, after like I'm having cacao every day, I was like, I don't know if I'm having another cacao like in an hour, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I brought my cacao stuff with me. Hola, mommy. And also because I really wanted to like start our conversation from this, for really like following your own wisdom, like following your own body, following what you feel, what you know that is like the correct thing to do for you in the moment. So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself to tell the audience who you are being right now and how did you start this?
Ooh, I love that question. When you ask who I'm being, I feel like I am being joy right now. Joy is very present in my life. Gratitude is very present in my life. Excitement. And a lot of it has to come back to human design. So I'm a transformational life coach. I've been coaching since 2015. And last year I brought in human design, although my relationship with human design has gone back to 2016 when I first discovered it. And I've recently really made it more of the forefront of my business. And it feels so good because for many years, I felt like human design couldn't really be combined with coaching, like they were two separate things. And now I see the power of kind of bringing them together and merging them. And it feels almost like I've come out of the spiritual closet, per se, like, hey, this is something that has helped me so much in my life. And it can help other people if you feel called to it, if you feel drawn to it. And so it feels really good to kind of be out in the world, just joyfully shining that light and bringing this amazing system to the forefront. So, yeah, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much, Soul, for having me.
Lovely. And how did you discover this? And why? Like, did you start like working with you? How was it? How was that journey?
That's a great question. I get this question a lot, and I actually haven't really told the story publicly, so this is fun. Back in 2016, it was the first year that I had been building my coaching business. And so I was looking for work on the side to supplement income. And I met this woman at a networking event, and she was like, oh, yeah, I could use some support in my business right now. She's like, let's see if we would be a good fit to work together. She's like, can I have your birth information? And I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I gave her my information and she came back and she said, Kayla, you're a projector. She's like, I don't know how deeply you know about human design, but I don't usually hire projectors. She's like, but let's give this a chance.
Oh,
And so I'm like,
wow.
what is a projector? What does that mean?
He was
I was
really
like
into
so
that.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, that just kicked off this journey of really learning about a projector and what it means and experimenting with my authority and my strategy. And whoa, like life just started to get so much easier and more flowy once I started really experimenting with what it means to be a projector. And I love that I'm talking to a projector. So you also kind of understand this energy in this way.
Yeah.
So over the years, just really using it for myself and seeing how it worked in my life, experimenting with it, seeing where it led me and what it led to. And then recently in the past year, I started bringing it into my coaching business because I realized I had so many projector clients. And
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, oh my gosh, I know all about projectors. Like, let's start like sharing this with them. And they
Well,
were
it's
like
kind of like, yeah,
amazed.
entrepreneuring is kind of a projector thing, right? Like, yeah, starting your own, yeah, be your own boss. We're not made for this system, actually, so.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. What
Gracias.
what was your favorite part of learning that you were a projector? Like what was kind of the biggest insight for you?
My favorite part, well, actually, it wasn't really fun for me at the beginning. Like, I don't know if it was like that for you, but I was like, no, I can't believe, because of course I had no idea. And then when I started hearing about it, and I wrote, yeah, I think it was a book or a workbook that someone sent it to me. And I just like started reading the descriptions and everything, and it was like, oh, I guess I'm a generator manifester. So I was like, of course, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was super like, yeah, okay. And then suddenly, I don't know if I did like, yeah, I did like some test, and it was like projector. And no, I'm gonna like I tried like 5 pages, and then I was like, no, I can't. Like, are you sure? So it was really hard for me because you know when you don't talk with someone that like really study and share it in the proper way, and you just like Google it, it's like you have no authority, you have no energy, you just like need to stay, like sit down and wait, and it was like that's not me, but at the same time, well, it sounds kind of like yeah, every time like people are actually just inviting me to do things. And whenever I'm just being me, things flow. And if I'm not me, it's like I feel it's like really like it's literally something bitter inside of me. So yeah, it feels like that. So then after that, like after like a couple of months, and starting to like also like having a consultant with someone and starting to like apply it in my real life, I was like, well, actually, I feel permission to be who I am. Like I'm not lazy, or it's not that I'm just like I'm like yeah, how do you say like slow, or it's just the way, or I'm super sensitive. Like I am, but it's like it's a part of how I work actually, and if I use it, like learn how to use it, it can be like fantastic actually. So yeah, I started to be super happy to be allowed to work like less hours because I was kind of pushing myself to do more things. So it was really interesting. So I would love to like have, if you wanna share like a quick description, or like just like a short description of what human design is and the type of energies and everything, because maybe some people that will that are like entering here, or like that will watch the record later, they don't know. So hola, como Alejandra, por ejemplo. Hola, Alejandra. So yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. I'll give you a little crash course. So human design really, to me, is a system that really explains how we flow our energy, how we best flow our energy. The best way that I've ever kind of heard in terms of an analogy is when we learn about how our body works, how our organs work, right? We're not necessarily going to change the function of our organs. They are our organs. However, we can make better decisions and choices to support the functioning of those organs. And so that is how I think of human design, right? It gives us kind of the blueprint, or the format of how our energy works. And our energy is going to work that way. And so what choices can we make in our lives that are going to empower that energy to flow in the best way possible? So it's based on many different things. Astrology, you know, you do need your birth time, location, exact date of birth or time of birth in order to pull up your chart. So it's based on astrology. It's also based on the chakra system. It's based on the I Ching. It's based on the different genetic codons, like the 64 different genetic codons. Like there's just so many different threads that kind of come into this system to make it what it is. And yeah, there's so much, like there's so many layers to the system. So I'll just share like kind of the tip of the iceberg, which also I think human design, as it's on the rise, this is kind of what people associate it with. They associate it with the 5 different types. Okay. Yes. And similar in astrology, if you know anything about astrology, like we have our sun sign, but that's only one little piece of it.
Yeah.
Right? There's so much more that you can go into. So the types are similar to like your sun sign, right? Like, yes, they are kind of like the biggest well-known piece of the system, but there's so much more to go into underneath. So how it works is there are the generators and the manifesting generators, and they make up the large portion of our society, about 70%. And what makes them different is they have a defined sacral center. And so they have access to consistent life force energy. You know, when they wake up in the morning, it's like they have a full battery. Yeah. Their battery is ready to go, you know, and they need to use up that energy doing things that they love. Okay. It's very, very important for generators and manifesting generators to love the work that they're doing, to feel passionate about the work that they're doing. If they don't, if they're going to a job that they hate, if they're doing activities that are really like draining them, that frustrate them, that don't feel satisfying, then they're going to really struggle with that energy. They're going to feel like, what? I have like this huge supply of energy? No, I don't. And that's because they're not using their energy in the best way possible. But if you put them into a situation where they're loving the work that they're doing, they're going to light up. They're going to have this access to this deep well of sustainable energy that's going to carry their purpose forward in life. And so specifically, generators are here to build something, right? They're here to figure out, what is it that I love to do, and then go build something for the rest of society. Manifesting
build.
Yes. Manifesting generators, they are similar to the generator. However, they have a little bit of the manifestor energy too. So manifesting generators are also here to do what they love. However, what they love is probably going to shift and change over time. You know, they're really here to kind of like go over here, like, hey, this is lighting me up. Go over here. Hey, this is lighting me up. And then through that process of really figuring out what lights them up, they're going to create a new path forward. So they might do a skill over here and a skill over here, and then they bring these skills together in this really beautiful way that carves something new for society. And we need both the generators and the manifesting generators to help us kind of build and sustain what it is that they're bringing to the world.
They're kind of like the structure of the society, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And then, so let's get into the other three types, which are non-energy types. Okay, so projectors, like you and I, we are here to, so the main thing that's between all of us is we actually don't have a defined sacral. Okay, so what that means is we don't have access to that consistent life force energy. We don't wake up with like a full battery pack to use doing what we love. However, we access, it doesn't mean we don't have energy, we don't have a sacral. We're just meant to tap into it wisely and use it when we need to and let it go when we don't. Okay, so Sol, I'm gonna say, when you get an invitation to talk about cacao, you probably are like lit up. You're like, yes, this feels so exciting, so good. You probably have unlimited energy to go and fulfill on that invitation talking about cacao. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. Or it happened like before starting this call, I was feeling so tired. I couldn't sleep last night. I woke up for surfing, and then I had a smoothie. I was like, oh my God, I'm feeling like, okay, I'm gonna breathe or something. And as soon as we started, I was like, yeah. I'm so glad. I was dancing. Yeah, I was living. Yeah, exactly.
And I can totally relate. Anytime I have an invitation to talk about human design, I'm like, woo, all of a sudden I have like so much energy, right? But then after this, we're probably going to go and need to take a little break, right?
Exactly.
We're going to like be like, all right, we need to like lay down low for like an hour or two just to kind of refuel those reserves. So projectors, right? We work better in kind of smaller chunks. Like, let's put a couple of hours into work right now. Let's take a break. Let's put a couple of hours into work. Let's take a break, right? Like, it's really important for us to rest. We access our gifts when we rest. And our gifts, we are here to guide other people. We are here to guide the energy of the other types. We have a sight. We have a particular way of seeing the world that really can help other people. We can help people be more efficient. We can help people tap into their potential and be their best selves. We can help people just flow their energy better, right? Like, how we work with the generators and the manifesting generators, we're actually like really good friends, because we can help like help the generators and manifesting generators. Yes, tap into what is going to light you up. Like, where are you flowing your energy? Where are you feeling frustrated? How can we kind of find a solution to that problem? So that's our job. We're kind of like the orchestrator, right? Like, when you think of an orchestra, there's people in the audience that are playing the instrument, and we're kind of up conducting. Right? We're like, yes. And then, so manifestors, moving to manifestors, which are about 8% of the population, manifestors have a energy center directly to the throat, but they do not have a defined sacral. So what this means is they are here to initiate. They're like the only type that can go out and create what it is that they want. The rest of us have to wait for something, right? The manifestors and manifesting generators and generators, they have to wait to respond. Something comes into their world and they're like, yes, that feels so cool. Projectors are to wait for the invitation, but manifestors, if they have an urge or an impulse to go out and create something, they just can go out and create it without waiting for anyone or needing anyone's permission. Just go out and do the thing. And so that's their part of society, is really bringing new things into form that they can then hand off to the manifesting generators and the generators to build. So yeah, they're really quite special. Yeah. And then the last one, the reflectors.
Like our friend Rosie.
Yes.
The reflector.
Yes. The reflectors are very special. They're very rare. They're about 1% of the population, and they're really here to reflect the health of the community. They're really here to bring wisdom that we need as society. So they'll kind of situate themselves in a community or in a society, and then they're able to kind of reflect like, hey, you know, are things going well, or do we need to make some shifts? And they have this perspective, this wisdom that we need in order to kind of like, in my opinion, kind of tie it all together, right? Like, yeah, they're so open. They have no centers defined at all. So they've kind of come to life to go to the school of hard knocks and learn things, gather things, and then help other people bring that wisdom, that perspective. So yeah, so that's a little bit about all the types.
Great politicians, right? Like people in the authorities, we have reflectors. I was just like listening to you and imagining a really a society based on human design, like everyone like doing what they are here to do. That would be awesome. And thank you for sharing. I think that was super clear, and I'm really excited to, like, every time I hear about it, I listen new things, discover new things. So, and I want to, because you said that we just like sometimes if we know, or if you ever hear about human design, or if we Google human design, it's like, yeah, you have 5 types of people and you're one, and that's it. And you can do this and that, and these people are here for doing this, right? But as you said, it's a combination of so many things. It's also like, it's based on genetics and astrology and numbers and the organs that I didn't know. So thank you. So I also, because I kind of like just know a little bit, but correct me if I'm right, if I'm okay. We have like channels, right? It's like the way that our organs and like energetic centers are connected flows in different ways, and it changes according to each person, right? It always changes.
Yes.
Okay. And the next question is, do we have, is it real that we have like an authority center, that some parts of our body or some channel that is the channel that is the channel for knowing what to do? Like, if we can say it like
yes, you got it. That's called our authority. And so that's the part of our body that we're going to listen to help us make the best decisions in our life. Okay. So yeah, so for
we all
us,
have a different one, like a different part. And
yes. Okay. You could be a manifestor and have an emotional authority. You could be a generator and have emotional authority. You could be a projector and have splenic authority, or you could be a manifestor and have splenic authority, right? Like it doesn't matter what your type is. It matters which of the centers, as we call them, which also relate to the organs in the body, which one of those are lit up and in what combination. So our authority helps us to make those decisions in our life. And I think there's seven authorities. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so there's quite a few different ones. The most popular one is emotional authority. About 50% of the population has that authority. And that one is really about, I have emotional authority. It's really about sleeping on things, right? Like waiting for clarity, not making decisions in the height of the moment, in the height of your excitement, or in the low of the moment, or like despair, but really coming to a neutral place and then still feeling excited about the opportunity. Yeah. And so that's kind of mirrors how society generally teaches us to make decisions, right? Like they generally say, oh, don't make a decision in an instant. You have to sleep on it. You have to think about it. You have to do X, Y, and Z, find all the pros and cons. And, that's great advice for emotional
Yeah.
authorities, but splenic authorities, they know in an instant whether or
Yeah,
not they
I
want to
do
do
have
something.
one. Yeah, I
You
have one.
have, okay.
Like
Yeah.
if I start, like if I wait, I enter in my mind and it's a chaos. Like I can't decide anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
And
Yes, sure. Yeah.
yeah, and I was going to say too, for splenic authorities, sometimes like and I would love to hear your experience of it. Sometimes it can be like, it speaks really like almost like a whisper. It's like
Yeah.
very quiet and it speaks once in the moment. And
Yeah.
if you don't catch it, it can be easy to kind of go up into your head and start like spinning
Oh,
all
you
these
see.
stories. And has that been your experience or is
Yeah.
it something
And
different?
also my Agna chakra, my crown is open. So imagine that
Mm.
I can I just everything enters and then yeah, I just that's the fun part of knowing that I am a projector and knowing my authority. Actually, coming back to your question, because I realized that I wasn't crazy, or because I kind of felt, I was feeling that I always felt when to do things. I was just receiving something. Okay, this is what I need to do, or this is where I'm going, and then are you sure? Or how do you know that? And I was like, I don't know. I just I need to do it. And I was in a hurry. And at the beginning also, I thought it was related, or maybe it is a little bit related to my Aries rising. So I have this fire, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Libra,
Mm-hmm.
my mind. So then when I took the consultant and when I was dipping a little bit more into human design, I was like, oh, that's why. That's why I really need to be in my body. And actually, that's another thing. I really need to be in my body, because if I'm not in my body, I lost that whisper, I lost that voice, and it's a mess. And actually, that's how I share about cacao. And I have some questions that I imagine, but one is really complicated. So I want to change it for the second one. One was wow, imagine if we have one type of energy in a cacao circle, and they started to open their heart, how could it be they would be oh, or awesome, or complicated, or I don't know. But I wanted to ask you instead, um if you ever you've been in some cacao, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
circles and ceremonies, and I would love to listen to your story about how do you enter to your heart space or to your inner space, because sometimes your heart is not you don't really feel here. Maybe it's your real authority, your real center, the center of your source. So I would love to hear your story, to listen to you, especially because you are a projector and you have a different kind of authority. So I would love to hear your experience, also for sharing if someone is listening to us and had this experience.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, immediately my mind is going to my chart, and I actually have a completely open heart center. It's
Oh,
called the will center, the
wow.
ego center. I don't have any gates defined in, it's a little triangle kind of in the middle of the body graph. And so I've always felt like someone who is just very generous and very open-hearted. I love to kind of show up with authenticity. I love to be generous with my time, my energy. And so, yeah, I would say that I generally feel pretty open-hearted in life. And sometimes it can get me in trouble a little bit, because I had a reading one time with someone who was doing the chakras, and she's like, Kayla, you have so much energy coming out of your heart center.
Yeah.
There's none going back in. And so
Ah.
I don't know if this has a connection with, if that would be everyone's experience, if they have a completely open heart in human design or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I would say, so putting human design aside, my experience in cacao circles specifically as a way to kind of open the heart, I will never forget. We had a cacao ceremony with Rosie, and I think afterwards Nyx was playing for a DJ, and this was almost a year and a half ago. It was at Bar Miramar, and I went, and I forget the woman that did the cacao, but it was one of the women in the community. And, we did the cacao and we did the ceremony. And I just had this like, I don't even know, this like crazy experience. Like it was mind bending. I felt like I was a direct channel, like as if my whole body was open, even like head, heart, everything. And it was like this inspiration or this something channel just dropped in. And it was almost like an invitation from something, so from the divine, from some kind of being, I don't know. And it was just like, Kayla, you have to go back to the old ways. And I'm like,
Wow.
okay, interesting. And, I was really like diving into indigenous wisdom, reading books around indigeneity and how society would function hundreds of years ago and how they all were able to come together in community and keep society moving forward. And so I don't know what I connected to in that moment. I mean, cacao being a beautiful indigenous tool, which you can speak more about. But yeah, it was so unreal, and it was beautiful, and it was magical. And so I think when you are holding a certain reverence with these tools that have been used for millennia, I think you allow in just like an opening of some sort for things to come through. But I'd love to hear your experience, like your thoughts on that, or a little more about cacao too,
wow.
And how it
I
is a
would
tool
love
that
to
opens.
hear more about your story too. Wow. And I was thinking, well, for me, that was beautiful. Thank you. For me, it's really, well, I think I have my throat, my crown, and I don't think I have my heart open, but I have like some, I don't remember. I have like one channel that is open and the other is not, something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that what happened to me is, first of all, I learned to, well, one of the things that I like started to like get into was first of all like saging and cleaning the people and kind of like cleaning the space, because as I'm a projector, I kind of like absorb sometimes, and also I have this crown open, so I literally like close my eyes, and sometimes I don't even close my eyes, I just like hug people and I see things and I like images come to me and everything. And it was kind of too much sometimes, especially little circles. So I started to like say, okay, I'm gonna like clean the space and everything. So that's also what I teach always, like, yeah, always like just like come to your own center too. So also asking for everyone to stay in their own center. And then I think that cacao unifies us. Like it's just like put us in our center and also in us in the same kind of the same place. So I just need to close my eyes and imagine, like, I don't even imagine, I just feel that I'm transmitting and talking to one person, because the projectors, or at least for me, it's like one-to-one is super like clear, easy. And when we are a lot, if I just like start to pay attention to each person, I can just get lost in each person. It can be also like overwhelming. So that's what happened to me. And then I just like kind of like direct the como que, yeah, focus the connection on cacao. So then I just like actually like just let the cacao speak through me. But yeah, I really discovered the difference cleaning the space and closing the space, because before, when I've been doing these circles for like doing it like every week for 1.5 years, and then like I was like doing circles and guiding circles before, but not like that much. So at the next day I was like depleted and super like sometimes some things were coming to me, and that's why I just like took the decision of starting to close the energy and clean and just like learning how to step in my own center and like, yeah, observing. So I think that was really interesting. And I just remember, oh, I'm a projector, because in my like human side or my mind, I'm not that kind of person that is like, oh, we need to protect and like energies like I really trust my guides and my aura and everything. So for me, it's like, yeah, I'm protected. I don't actually need to do anything. I'm doing this with my heart, so I'm protected. But then I started to feel all of this, and I just remember that, and I like put into practice, and I can see the difference now, like literally. And also, yeah, it light me up. Like sometimes I'm super tired, and I start like sharing cacao, and I just like I have a lot of energy, and after the circles or after the talks and everything, I'm like, woo! But yeah, I need to have time for myself. Like, and after serving, if I'm doing like many circles or ceremonies or like yoga and then like the circle and cooking, then I need like one day. If I'm doing this for 3 days, I need like one entire day of literally sometimes not even to listen to music. I need to be in silence. I need to go to the ocean and like just literally uncharge myself. So that's my story. That's how my energy works. I'm also like getting out of the closet saying this. So yeah,
I feel like Sayulita attracts so many non-energy types because it is just so the land, the energy, it's so feminine and it just takes us in and holds us and hugs us, and we can go out and just recharge with the earth.
It is. It is. Well, thank you. Yeah, I could like talk hours and hours about this. So I think I have like the last question for you. That would be just like how can I say, like what would you say to someone that feels to connect? Let's suppose that people are googling and they already like know their kind of like their type of energy. How can they start to approach to put in practice their energy? Like there's some tool in general that they can do, and also contact you, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for everyone, I would recommend experimenting. Like, I think human design doesn't have to be like an all or nothing kind of thing. It doesn't have to be another box that you put yourself into. I think that, I buy into it. I love it. It's the system that has closest come to helping me understand who I am, and it feels so deeply resonant. But I would recommend for other people who are kind of right at the beginning of their journey, hold it lightly and experiment with the information that you're reading. If you're a projector, start just practicing waiting for the invitation, right? And I will say, it doesn't mean that you just have to kind of wait around and it's like this passive process. That's not what it is at all. I mean, you spoke to it, soul. You have to be visible. You have to be shining your light out into the world. That is going to get you recognized and seen in order for you to receive an invitation. So it's not just sitting back, but practice, if you are a business owner as a projector, practice creating content or going and speaking or doing something that excites you and feels good to you, and then sit back and wait for the invitations. I will say too, as a projector, right, it's not always sitting back and waiting. You can make an invitation because sometimes an invitation is energetic. There have been many people that I've met, especially two projectors, right? Like, like someone needs to go first.
Yes.
So there can be almost like you can feel an energetic invitation. There's been times in my business where I've done that, where I felt like, ooh, I could really serve this person. And they haven't directly invited me to do so, but I felt this vibe. I felt this it's like, yes, resonance, So I reached out and would invite them and offer them a free session. And they've always said yes, right? But I feel into that. I don't just do that with everyone. It's like, I'm constantly on the lookout in the world for the invitations that are coming my way. So if you're a projector, start practicing with that. If you're a manifesting generator or a generator, practice responding to what's happening in your life, right? You don't necessarily have to go out and like create from a blank slate. You can surround yourself with different stimuli. You can sit back and look at your life and look at what's coming down the river of life and feel into your response to it. You know, if you're, let's just say, we're going to go with the entrepreneurial analogy, but let's say, you know, you are a generator and you're wanting to create a new program for your clients. You don't have to just pull something out of thin air. Go out into the world and start talking with your colleagues. Hey, what do you offer for programs? Go start talking with people who, you know, maybe are in the same industry as you. Yeah, like give yourself things to respond to, right? Let's say, you know, if you're in direct sales and someone's like, oh yeah, I just did this awesome party at my house. And you're like, ooh, that really excites me. That lights me up. That's a sign, right? That there's something there for you. It's almost like following the little breadcrumbs, not necessarily having to like pick it up and do like, you know, pull something out of thin air and create from a blank slate, but look at what's happening around you and feel into your response to it. If you're feeling pulled in, drawn in, that's probably a sign that it's a breadcrumb and it's meant for you to follow. Yeah, and if you're a manifester, right? Like just, I don't know, practice, or for manifestors, I'll give this one. If you're a manifester and you tend to kind of go off and just create and initiate, practice with informing, right? Informing is not necessarily permission.
So hard.
Yeah, it's not asking anyone for permission, but it's saying, hey, I just had this amazing idea. I want to uproot our family and move to, you know, Singapore. Like, okay, great. That's your urge. You have that exciting urge. Now inform your family. Like inform, hey, I want to go do this thing, right? Like that might be a very extreme example, but practice just letting people know in your world who your decisions are going to impact and letting them know, hey, there might be an impact here. I just want to let you know that this is something I want to do. And again, it's not asking for permission, but it's just giving a courtesy to let the people know around you who might be impacted by your next initiation, your next creation. And then reflectors, I'm going to say, for reflectors, I don't always believe that reflectors need to wait 30 days, a full moon cycle for a big decision. I would say that big decisions, yes. Like if you're going to move somewhere new or, you know, you're going to get into a relationship, like give it 30 days to really feel into that decision. But just, like practice with just taking your time, not having to make decisions right away, but just like feeling into a decision from all the different phases of the moon. You know, how are you feeling about the decision when the moon's in Leo? Or how are you feeling when the moon's in Cancer? And just giving yourself that time and space to feel your decision from all different angles. So these are just some practical tips that you can experiment with. And if it doesn't work for you, if you're like, that just doesn't resonate, or you know what, no, I'm gonna just make decisions the way that I've always made them. Great, that's fine. But at least experiment and try and see what happens in your life. And if you love it, cool, then keep going and keep your journey of discovering and exploring.
I love that. Thank you very much. That's gold. Gracias. Well, thank you very much. I would love to add that I think that all that you say, that of course I love it, and I 100% agree with that. I was receiving, you know, it's just like be in your body, like be in your body, like literally, like listen, feel, practice, like see yourself, like be with you, sit with you. So you can always practice human design with some cacao. Like having like one cacao in the morning and then like, okay, what am I gonna do today? Okay, I'm gonna wait for the invitation. One cacao, I'm feeling, that can be a good, accessory to this. So thank you very much. I really really enjoy our talk. Like that was amazing. So muchísimas gracias. Let's follow Kyla. She's living in Sayulita, so you can have a consultant with her. She's amazing. She has a beautiful energy. You have a lot of energy too. Like that's what I receive from you. You're like super. You're always shining. I think it's because you do what you love. You're always like, I'm here. Super excited about life. So.
But I'm the same as you, Soul. I need like a day of doing nothing, which I did on Sunday. Literally lay on the couch and just like watch TV. So. Yes, I get it. Thank you so much for having me too. I really appreciate it. This is great.
Gracias, hermosa. Have a beautiful day.
Okay.
See you around.
Nos vemos.
Nos vemos.
Adiós.
Thank you, people. Bye. Thank you for being here today. Gracias. It was lovely, amazing. I really enjoyed it. Please watch the whole video, watch the whole reel. And yeah, I'm leaving with something that I didn't show. I'm gonna make a story. But I brought my cacao tincture today speaking about this. So have a beautiful day. See you around. Muchas gracias. Gracias, Mayu. Mwah. Bye bye.